Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of ET Markets Smart Talk, a show where we engage with top experts to provide you with complete insights into current market trends and the impact on stocks and sectors. Well, my name is Kshitij Anand, and today we have with us a very special guest, Amisha Vora, Chairperson and MD at Prabhudas Lilladher. I know she doesn't need any introduction, but then again, yes, she's the woman of the hour, and we will be decoding the budget 2024 for investors. Welcome to the show, Amisha.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. And I'm sure you've with decades of experience in capital markets, this was also an eventful budget, and it had sort of everything for everyone. We did see small bit of knee-jerk reaction on equity markets once the short-term capital gains and long-term capital gains hike was announced. Something which was on the cards. What are your views on that as well?
See, I would like to say first that financialization of savings, the whole virtuous cycle has now started in India, and it's catching up pace. So if you see, the monthly SIP inflows are rising by the day.
Absolutely.
And all the mutual funds are sitting with large cash pile at these levels of market. And above all, if you see, the number of direct participants in markets are also increasing. So somewhere these three steps which are taken. One is tax, transaction tax. If you see, its financial impact from the budget perspective or deficit perspective is very limited. But
Absolutely.
It is more like to curb the excess somewhere if it is happening. And so also is for short term, long term, if you ask me, that this government wants to remain, as my different discussions with policymakers suggest me, that their idea is not to allow any bubble anywhere to happen and then correct it. Rather, make the pace of things a bit more sober, whether it is credit growth, whether it is market growth, whether it is channelization of savings into financial markets. So these are some of the, on a speeding car, how some blockers or speed
Roadblocks.
breakers. I would rather take it like this. And I would also say that this will not disturb the long-term outlook of the market at all, because it's more relevant to the economic growth, more and most relevant to your inflation outlook and your interest rate outlook. And both are very well taken care of. So yes, this is an unexpected move impacting the investors, whether speculative, long-term, short-term, and taking a bit from them, in turn slowing down the fast clip at which markets were moving.
Right. In fact, you very rightly said that the impact or the financial impact from a deficit point of view is very little. In fact, if we look at the fiscal deficit number, it has been revised down to 4.9% from 5.1% of GDP earlier. So, point rightly taken. What is your take on that? I mean, this is also very significant, and in fact, the government plans to, lower it more down to 4.5%. In the next year. So that is also a positive sign for the economy. Any rating upgrade that India could foresee based on that?
I think a rating upgrade, of course, will be a combination of both the growth, inflation, and one of the key critical element of this is the fiscal deficit. But I would say that this year reducing the fiscal deficit target to 4.9 from 5.1 would have been ascribed to the large RBI dividend, and people would have said they would be sustainable. But as you now project, see the thought process and the deep thinking which goes behind, wherein they now come and say that next year we are targeting 4.5, which says that this is the roadmap that we have created, and that's how I think it is a lot more credible also.
Right. And in the meantime, we did talk about STT earlier in the conversation, Amisha, but you have decades of experience interacting with retail investors, institutional investors. Now, STT is something which has been there for quite some time now, and we saw a slight bit of increase, not much, and as you rightly pointed out, that it's just emphasized on the overheating aspect that FM wants to curb. Do you see this move in the right direction from economy and an FM point of view?
See, if you ask me, actually speaking, this was in lieu of the short term, long term. So, market demand was something like this. To rationalize the tax structure, they expected this STT to be abolished. Or if it continues, the short term, long term to be not there. Now here we see all three rising. So that's how it's a little bit complete surprise. At the same time, market wanted that when you are taxing the profits in the hands of corporates already, why are you taxing the dividend? It's a clear case of double taxation. Now, instead of removing that anomaly, there is some change in the buyback related tax, which I have not read the fine print, but I still feel that it is not an extremely conducive step as what market was expecting. So that's how, looking at the whole package for market, I feel that this is more to just cool down the markets a bit more.
Cool down the space.
Yeah, it's not frankly to rationalize logically the tax structure, which otherwise is the clear intention. They want to clearly make personal income tax also and the entire income tax basket very structured and streamlined. No so many ifs, buts, nor so many exemptions. But I think that's a work in progress.
Right. Well, I'm sure, Amisha, you'd be getting a lot of queries and calls from investors as well. Once because the budget has just come out, to talk about the queries from markets investors. Well, a big thing that has actually come out and it has been in focus, especially from the FM speeches, employment and skilling of the youth, which will be an integral part of India's, if India wants to become, let's say, third largest economy. What are your views on that? In fact, we see many schemes coming in from the government or many highlights coming in from the government to take this forward.
So I think the full focus has been while on one hand they want to continue to keep a good grip on the implementation of capex budget, which has been growing from almost 1% to now 3.5%, they also want the consumption side to bounce back and on a sustainable basis. And for that, you have to address both very meaningfully. One is agri and the other is employment. And in both, I would say that the kind of efforts and schemes that they are rolling out is very fundamental and basic. When you say that you want to do the agri-land mapping, agri-land scanning, all those are going to be, of course, they have provided all the rest also, but these are very basic and fundamental, like Jan-Dhan accounts. Then the whole thing starts based on that. Especially for youth also, to provide that some 6,500 rupees as first, just starts mapping the youth that what is the real pain point, which state, which, you get to know the absolute details and then you try attacking. So I would think that once again, the whole edifice of correcting and meaningfully correcting consumption basket of India is a few schemes on the top, but also creating a base, right?
Absolutely. In fact, FM did highlight the 9 priorities in the budget. and it's had sort of laid down the foundation of Viksit Bharat, which the government and the PM keeps talking about. And a big takeaway from that particular 9 priorities is the energy as a sector, which has taken the center stage. We're seeing quite a bit of schemes and rollouts coming in for that particular sector, followed by infra and MSMEs. What is your take on that as well?
So this is a theme that we as a country have totally married, and that is alternate energy, renewables, which is both environment friendly. At the same time, it is reducing our dependence on outside India. So if you see, the first step that they took, I mean, the deeper step that they took is to create reduced duties on for plants making the cells and wafers, which is the core ingredient which right now India doesn't make, and we are totally dependent on China and other countries. Then also to put some duties on things which are completely imported, so that domestic manufacturing grows. And last is the last mile in terms of rooftop solar and so on, to make it popularized, so that we not only large capex is needed to increase renewable, but at every household level also we are aware and tuned to the alternatives. Similarly, on the point of MSME, we all know the need that this is the large employment creator, and we also know their pain point in terms of growing, getting the bank guarantees or getting the bank limits, giving personal guarantee or collateral. So I think this is an extremely bold step. Now, how this will be really rolled out, how it will impact banks or NBFCs is going to be very crucial. Because they are asking that up to maybe 100 crores, if I understood right in the speech, to give uncollateralized loans.
Right.
So the implementation will be very critical. Almost 10 years back, I guess, they brought this standard CRISIL ICRA so-and-so rating instead of banks' internal rating. They are going back to now internal rating mechanism, which is also an extremely bold step to support MSME. So these are very bold steps, and if implemented well, two things will be achieved. Banking system will continue to remain robust the way it is now after a long pain period, and on the top of it, the MSME will really get ease of doing business or getting the capital, in turn supporting employment. But implementation here will be very key.
Absolutely, implementation will be critical. Now we are running slightly, ahead of the time. So very quickly, two things which our Indian households like. One is gold, and the other one is silver. We are seeing some bit of duty reduction coming in on both these precious metals. How are you looking at this announcement?
I think one of the key reasons is that the prices globally have moved up very, very high. So to just make it a bit affordable for the buyers, this is a gesture in the right direction, if you ask me.
Right gesture in the direction. Very good. Perfect. Well, on that note, I'm sure a lot of women will be very happy, in case the prices come down, because that is the kind of the attraction that the gold carries. Absolutely needed. Absolutely, I'll take the word about that. Thank you so much for your time, Amisha.
Thank you.